What's up guys, it's Get Ready to Battle, and welcome to the Mythological Ritual. This is a special event that happens while Diana is the mayor, where we're allowed to go around, we're able to dig up mythological creatures and get unique items. Those unique items will be able to get new accessories, new equipment, new pets, so it's very useful to have. I'm going to be trying to show off how to play it, how to max it out, even if it might not be as easy as I'm saying it. So step 1, wait for her to be in mayor. Then we have two different items that we can directly buy from Diana. We have the Ancestral Spade, which is the item you actually need to do things. This will cost 32 gold ingots and 5,000 coins. If you don't have them, you can go farm wheat in the barn or wheat in the farm area. And it should be pretty quick. On top of that, we also have the Griffin pet. This pet doesn't even have bad stats. It gives you at level 100, it gives you a bunch of strength and crit damage and crit chance and attack speed, as you can see on screen. So it's not bad for like an early game combat tool. It also is the main pet you need while doing the mythological events. This will control what mobs can spawn, and you want the different mobs to be able to spawn, because that's 90% of what's useful. So step 1 is probably find a hub that doesn't have many people. A good way of doing that is you go over to the random hub. If you right click, you're in a small server, which usually has at most 5 people. Now I'm not sure if that's available to everyone or only to people who have ranks. Either way, once you do, you have your shovel, you have the pet active, where mine is also common. You will use the right click ability of the Ancestral Spade to be able to see where you're supposed to go. You will see these particle effects go off in the direction where you're supposed to go. Ideally, you should be probably holding the shovel as you run over there. It's a 5-second, it doesn't take any mana, so you're able to just spam it. You should try to see where you think it is. Once you get to here, this is where the start will be. There will be a place on the ground to break with these particle effects. You break it, and you see an arrow along with 1 out of 4. This is a chain. We have to do this one, then the next place, then the next place. And this is directing us to where the next place is. So we know it's about this direction. So we can just run forward, and we will probably see it on the ground somewhere. It might not be exact, especially since we need to go around things like the leaves. But we should be able to see it. Maybe even if we do F5 to get a better angle of everything. Like here. Previously we saw the blue particle effects to show where it started. Now it's a red particle effect to show where it continues. Now, outside of the first one you break, there is a 75% chance that you get a mob, and a 25% chance you get treasure. In this case, we got treasure with 25,000 coins. Once we break that, then we can actually break it again to tell us where the next one is. So now he's pointing towards the graveyard area, so we can run towards the graveyard in this general direction. The good thing is, if you're ever lost and you don't think you can find it, you can right click again, and it will take you closer to where it's going to be, especially since you've already gone closer. Now here, we have a different particle effect, and if I remember correctly, this means a mob is going to spawn, and we have to kill it. Now, the different types of mobs show up based on the rarity of whatever griffin pet you have. The first one, Common Pet, has 2 types of mobs, where each rarity upgrade gives you 2 additional types of mobs, along with buffing the previous types of mobs to make them better. So for this example, we have a Minos Hunter, because he, while early on, has this much health, which is not much. I can just beep. We kill it, and we get these ancient claws from killing them. These ancient claws are used as crafting, but we'll see that at the end. Now, since we've done that, we can break another one, and we see an arrow. Now, you can tell based on the color of the arrow how close it's going to be, with green being pretty close, red being moderate, and black being basically on the other side of the island. So I'm going to go run over to probably somewhere in the wilderness to go find it. Here we go. We have found part 4. So we got another Minos Hunter. We kill that. We break the last bit. And we completed the chain. Yay! Now what we will do is I'm gonna go find the other creature that spawns. And then I'll cut back when we find it. Most notably, as you're also mining, one of the treasure items you can get is a griffin feather. That is an additional item you will need while progressing. So you will probably want to keep doing more even if you don't have the ability to truly fight creatures like that. And here we can see the other mob that spawns, the Siamese lynxes. In this case, as you see, one of them has angry particle effects and one of them doesn't. If you try to hurt the one that doesn't, nothing will happen. Or switch at the last moment. But it protects the other ones, so you have to kill them one at a time, which causes it to be a bit awkward. Those are the two mobs you get when starting out. If you want to actually get more mobs, or to get higher quality mobs, say you can easily handle something with 4,000 health, the way you need to do is upgrade the Griffin pet. Now, you can't easily just upgrade the Griffin pet in the same way you upgrade all the other pets with your cat. What you have to actually do is get a certain item for each time you upgrade them, which are all made with these feathers and these claws. It doesn't show exactly where, but you will need these upgrade stones. This base upgrade stone is crafted using griffin feathers, some gold, and some cobblestone, which will let you be able to get this base upgrade stone, which you can then use for different tiers of upgrade stones, whether it be from common to uncommon, from common to rare, or uncommon to rare. You will need these every time. Once you get these, you will still need to give it to Cat, but you at least need the item beforehand. So you need to go prepare to mine gold, but also keep doing the event to get a bunch of feathers and a bunch of ancient claws. If you want your common to be uncommon, you'll first need in total 32 claws and 16 feathers, due to this tier upgrade and this tier upgrade. An additional item you can craft using these feathers and claws is this new accessory, the Beastmaster Crest. This gives you a buff to your pet XP, and gives you a buff to multiple stats, such as your intelligence, your pet XP boost, and health, based on its rarity, and how many mythological mobs and Manos followers you've slain. Going up from common, which uses a milk bucket, 40 ancient claws, and 4 griffin feathers, up to legendary, which for this upgrade needs 4 stacks of feathers, a lot of enchanted ancient claws, and the previous tier. In addition to upgrading an accessory, you can also upgrade the spade itself to get you more resources. By upgrading it, you will increase its burrow length, going from 4 maximum to 6 maximum to 8 maximum. Also increases things that you can mine, and increases the specific rewards you do get. So you get more unique rewards, and this upgrade to the next tier here is Mythos Fragments, and the tier after that gives you braided griffin feathers. It also increases how many of the resources you get. It reduces the cooldown for its ability to show you where the next one is, but that one, at least I don't think is too much. To get the spade itself, you need a lot of gold with 2 enchanted blocks, a lot of enchanted ancient claws, a bunch of griffin feathers, and even a hilt of revelations, which you're just going to have to hope you get lucky by killing the Minos Hunter. On top of that, the upgrade after that needs these Mythos Fragments, which you get from the previous spade, and another hilt, and an upgraded version of the Griffin Feather, which uses Soul String, so you have to do Arachne too, to get everything. We also have a separate set of armor for this event. We have the Challenger Armor. This armor is used using feathers and ancient claws, at least on most pieces, and alongside gold, which will give you increased stats, which double stats if you're in the hub during this event, and as a tiered bonus, reduces how much damage you take from mythological mobs. Meaning while they don't provide that much strength, or much offensive power in general, it is nice to have to not take much damage, making it stronger against them. There's even an upgraded version of them called the Mythos Armor, which includes armor plus accessories, all of which are upgraded using the previous armor set, so you will need to get them anyway. They're using different resources, but mainly just Mythos Fragments and Enchanted Ancient Claws. But there is also some ones that require additional gold or griffin feathers to do that. These ones make it so you take even less damage, you have more of the original stats, and you get Magic Find on those mobs. Meaning you get more mobs, or more resources from the mobs that are useful for crafting some of the rarer items. There's also a specialized sword for this event, using griffin feathers, enchanted ancient claws, and block of gold, along with the hilt of revelations. You're able to make a sword of revelations, giving you not too terrible in terms of damage or strength, where, like, say my aspect at the end is around the same, probably less than it. But this also gives you 50% bonus damage to mythological mobs, and you get 5 magic fighting against them. Not only that, but you'll be able to upgrade this sword into the Daedalus Blade, giving you more strength, more damage, gives you additional damage based on your taming level, and copies the base combat stats of your active pet, which, good news, the Griffin pet does have good combat stats, as we said earlier. Gives you more damage per bestiary tier you have across all of your mythological mobs, where mine is pretty low, but you can definitely get more. Especially if you keep upgrading your Griffin pet, and then you get more unique mobs, meaning more unique bestiaries for those mobs. So this sword does give you a lot of good stats. Ignore the fact that my Griffin pet is basically just stapled onto it. But then it does require a lot of gold blocks, and Daedalus sticks, which drop from Minotaurs, one of the mobs from the Griffin. Here I have the list of mythological creatures according to the wiki I'm looking at, where these 2 common ones are the only ones you get with the starting Griffin pet. You will need to upgrade it if you want to create more mobs, which will get you additional items. In addition, they drop Ancient Claws. But if you want to hit their random drop chance by the chart, such as the all-powerful Chimera 1 book, or the Minos Relic, or just the Daedalus stick to make a better sword, you will need to upgrade your Griffin pet. In addition, sorry my pause-unpause for recording is glitching with websites, but in addition to killing them yourselves, you also want to get their attributes, at least most of these creatures. These will give you specific bonuses that depend on them, which I can't easily pull up because it feels like it keeps breaking every time I try to use a website, so I should stop doing that. But there is 1 per tier, not counting common. So we have, once at uncommon, there's a creature you want to get. At rare, there's a creature. At epic, there's legendary and mythic. Additional thing that you can do to help yourself on the journey is to get a plugin that will give you an assistance. For me, I have Skyblocker, which I turned off for demonstrations, but now I can try to show. This orange line is built into my thing, so I can easily see exactly where I should be, meaning I don't even need to hold a shovel. So I can quickly come over here, and then look at generally where the line is. And look, what do you know? This also makes a waypoint where I need to mine, which is great. There's an arrow here, and sometimes it makes it with the line. I think it only requires certain colors of arrows to make the line. So I can just do this right click. Now this does become part of a problem if there are a bunch of other people, because the helper will also accidentally hook onto their chains, meaning it can be a bit confusing as to where you're supposed to go. But see, look, I was walking the wrong direction, and then I saw this waypoint that's being made, so I could immediately come here. In addition, I was holding the shovel for a second, so it's able to know that this is the place to mine, which is wonderful. All because of just downloading a free mod online. Either way, this will help your progress, because you don't have to put in as much mental effort into figuring out where you need to go. You can just kind of run around and eventually get everywhere you want to be. If I am going to recommend anything, I recommend trying to improve the Griffin pet first, before other things, at least until it becomes overly difficult, but your first action should be probably improving the Griffin pet to make it higher rarity than common, since pure higher rarities does increase how many different mobs you can get during this event. It also will help eventually get other abilities that aren't really needed for this event, so I'm not bothering to mention them. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye!